AskReddit by Civil Chapter 3955. Dentists of Reddit. How can you tell if a client viciously brushed their teeth 4 minutes straight before an appointment? I think people are missing the ARP's actual question. I think OP meant how can you tell if they are a regular brusher vs someone who doesn't brush often but just brushed extra long and hard before coming to see you. At least that's how I interpreted it. I'm a hygienist and yes, we can tell. You can brush off plaque but not tartar. So we can tell by tartar buildup if you have good home care routines or not. And yes, we do realize genetics and medication can affect buildup, but it's still obvious if you're trying or not. Yes. And a nice brush floss before your appointment is appreciated. Eating a tuna sandwich in the waiting room is not. Oh god, as a child I was so stupid. I wouldn't brush before my appointments because that wasn't part of my routine and I thought the dentist would be able to tell and call me a cheater. They must have seen so much food. As an adult I brush my teeth and haven't been called out for it yet. Is brushing your teeth before the dentist not a thing everyone does? I'd rather not go in there with potentially bad breath or food in my teeth. I think it's more that they can tell if your panic brushing is an attempt to cover up your bad habits for the rest of the year. Dentists probably know because your gums are sending out an SOS signal and your toothbrush is filing for workers' compensation due to overwork. Deleted. I'm a dental assistant and I can definitely tell. At first, I was blessed because most of the patients' mouths was clean. But when the first unclean one came, it was bad. Food between teeth, smell. Some people have food stuck on their dentures partials. So if you want to be nice to your dentist or even the assistants, please brush your teeth before coming. Or at least rinse it with water, if you don't have anything else. Thank you. I'm gonna eat 20 Oreos before coming in. Teeth, gums and the oral cavity tell a story. I can generally tell if you come from a poor or rich family. How much sugar you consume. If you smoke, vape, drink or take drugs. If you are pre-diabetic or diabetic. If you are highly stressed. Different mental and systemic illnesses can be seen also. Obviously, how often you brush and floss. There are many other things that dental practitioners will know about you without you saying a word. How can you tell if someone is highly stressed? I have very good dental hygiene but have had a lot of high chronic stress the past 10+ years. If you don't usually brush your teeth twice a day, your gums will be bleeding quite a bit. And if you do brush regularly, then from the fresh minty smell and lack of plaque and food pieces. It's appreciated, just don't scrub too hard or you'll be sore and do damage to your gums. I don't brush often at all. Gums do bleed at dentist, but they didn't really say much aside from needing to floss more. I do floss pretty thoroughly before appointments though, so not a whole lot of plaque, and never get cavities despite poor habits. I'm sure I'm setting myself up for problems later though. I've once apologized to my dentist that it's been a few hours since I've brushed my teeth. She just told me, I can't believe how many don't even bother brushing their teeth beforehand. This question makes me believe not brushing before an appointment is the norm. But surely that can't be truth. Sure, the signs of aggressive brushing right before an appointment are typically bleeding gums, inflamed gum lines, and abrasion patterns on the teeth that are not characteristic of regular, gentle brushing. Dentist here. You already have plenty of good responses, but hopefully I can answer it a bit differently. If you're not brushing and flossing regularly, your gums will be red, puffy and bleed easily, gingivitis. If you brush and floss right before or a few hours before, the teeth will look clean. No soft white plaque build up on the actual tooth, but your gums will still be red, puffy and bleed easily. That only goes down after a week or two of correct brushing and flossing. Can confirm. Been slowly climbing out of depression, and my oral hygiene has taken a massive hit. I don't really care if it's obvious that I just brushed. You can't really hide anything from an X-ray and a thorough inspection anyway. I do it as what I'd consider a common courtesy. I wouldn't consider it my dentist's job to pluck food from my teeth any more than I would consider it my mechanic's job to clean my car just so they can sit in the seat. Sure, there may be things to fix on both teeth and car, and neither may be spotless and like factory new. That doesn't mean I can't at least rinse and wash away whatever I have easy access to. Well, their mouth literally smells of a toothpaste mouth freshener. It's low-key hilarious but actually quite advantageous for us. Helps us see your problems better. Sometimes they brush it so vigorously you can literally see scratches in their gums. BTW, we can even make out if you have given someone a BJ a while back, haha. Okay, I need you to explain how. Anyone who doesn't brush their teeth before going to the dentist is an animal. Dentist here. Gingivitis takes about 2 weeks of diligent home care to go away. Brushing and flossing right before your appointment isn't enough time for the inflammation to resolve. Should a person be worried if it takes longer than 2 weeks to go away? I didn't grow up with the greatest dental hygiene, and every time I try to start flossing I get thwarted by just complete frustration over the constant taste of blood in my mouth. The longest an attempt has lasted was like a month doing it every day, or the one time I decided to do it once a week and try to work up to more often I lasted like 4 or 5 months. But the blood taste never went away until I stopped doing it to give my gums a break, which inevitably resulted in me dropping that attempt altogether. Is the length of time it keeps happening something I should be legit worried about? Is there a way to make fixing it faster? I hate tasting blood every day. If they don't have a daily brushing routine, just vigorously brushing before their appointment will only remove plaque, soft buildup before it turns into calculus. What that means is that the gums will still be red, inflamed, and much calculus buildup will be present. So if a patient comes in with no plaque but has red inflamed gums with calculus buildup, this is evidence that they just had a very good brush before their checkup and clean but do not have a good daily routine of brushing. Everybody should also take a shower before seeing your doc for an ass-balls vaginal examination too. This post brought up very vivid memories of my mom picking me up from school to take me to the dentist, handing me my toothbrush that was already wet with some toothpaste on it, and me frantically brushing my teeth and spitting out the window because we were always running late to things. Not a dentist, but I make dental prosthetics, dentures and stuff, and I typically see the worst of the worst when it comes to nasty mouths. Please brush your teeth before your visit. Everyone judges you when you leave your breakfast in your alternate impressions, especially the lab. My significant other is a dental hygienist. She talks about patients who will brush their teeth only on special occasions, and that doesn't even mean on a trip to the dentist. Truth is, I cannot really tell. Also, my patients cannot really tell I'm not actually a dentist. It's like panic cleaning your house. Sure, most of the surfaces are clean, but that little spot you missed, it has like 3 months worth of dust over there. Pretty obs. I joked with my previous dentist once that one of the times I visit, I'm going to put a big fake spider in my mouth. He laughed and said it wouldn't be any worse than some of the real stuff he's seen. I asked him to elaborate and listen to his stories as he checked things out. I did this with the hygienist too. I legit miss that dental office since I moved. Some of his worst stories include someone whose tooth literally fell out as soon as he touched it, and someone else who had, of course, eaten Oreos right before coming as they were on their lunch break. He said some of the smells he'd encountered were incredible, too. I used to live in a very rural area and can believe it. Your gums tell all, my friend. Your gums tell all. I need to ask the same question but to urologists. Do you brush your urethra vigorously with soap and steel wool for 10 minutes? Teeth don't have plaque or food debris on them, but the gums are red, inflamed, bleeding. Gums don't lie. Oh, I always have a brush before a dental apt. I'd hate to bring food breath into someone with their face that close to my mouth.